As many of you have said, this is a very important moment for us, and it's a moment that's been brought to us by Mayor Chow, saying we have to do not just different but better, and putting something on her very first executive committee saying, this is where I plant my flag, this is the kind of city that we have to have, one where people who want to live here can find affordable rents. And we've recognized that the planning regime put in place by the province of Ontario ain't going to get us there. It might make a few people into billionaires, but it's certainly not going to create rental housing. Where we've recognized that the current federal funding program isn't going to get us there, and the private market by itself is not going to get us there. And instead, what we have decided to do is to say the Toronto Public Service and the broader community and this council is not going to wait. We are going to get in front of this, and we are going to get out there, and we are going to start to build. And that's incredibly exciting. I haven't seen a government committed this way to actually making it possible for people in every walk of life to live in decent circumstances in the City of Toronto since the 1970s. It has been that long since any order of government had the courage and the honesty to say, just sitting back and hoping that someone's going to build you a detached home that you can afford inside the City of Toronto is not going to work. It's just not going to work, that we need actual leadership. And on that point, I want to say something a little bit different from what some of my colleagues have said. A key to this is recognizing that as of today, we have the talent, the dedication, and the skills within the Toronto Public Service to make this move. Some people have made the claim today that, members of the public service aren't delivering fast enough, or you can't always get a phone call returned. And from time to time, that may be true. But I want to tell you just one little experience I had. A while ago, I had a community center and a library that were both due to get some renovations made at the same time. And I talked to a senior member of the public service, he's not here anymore, Chris Brillinger, and I said, could we put these things together? Is there a way to sort of build these two projects together and do something a little special? And the Toronto Public Service took that on, and they said, you know what? There's a library there too, Councillor. We'll bring them in. There's a Toronto Parking Authority lot near there. We'll bring them in. Just a little bit south of that site, there's a Toronto Community Housing building. We'll bring them in. In fact, Councillor, there's a piece of private property owned by Dollarama in the middle of where all this is happening, and we are going to go out and buy it. And as a result, the Toronto Public Service, without federal funding, without provincial leadership, but on their own, are creating the first instance that I can remember since 1977 of assembling a variety of publicly owned lands and some private lands into a hub that includes direct service to people who needs them and new housing, a mix of affordable and market housing. And that's what we're capable of already at the City of Toronto. What Mayor Chow has done is said, we know how to do this. Let's make it a priority. Let's send a clear message to the public service. We know you're ready to go. We know you're eager to do this. We, as a council, are taking off the brakes. Get going. Look at the resources you have. Look at the great talents you have. Look at the different divisions and agencies and the way that you guys have worked. The reins are off. Build us some rental housing. And I honestly, I'm more excited than I have been on any day since I was first elected to this chamber in December of 2006. This is a great moment for us. Mayor Chow, members of the Toronto Public Service, let's go.